This is a lecture on 2-2, histograms, frequency polygons, and ogives. These are the three graphs that I will teach you how to do. The first one is by far the most important one. So let's start with the frequency histogram. So what I did is I went back to my data. I've added one more column, midpoints, that we're going to talk about in a second. But I took the class limit, so these are my midpoints. I took the class limits and the frequency and I copied it over here so that I can highlight both at the same time. What you want to do is you want to go up into Insert. What you see is you see a bunch of different graphs. Sometimes clicking the recommended charts will give you different options of what it recommends. What you want is you want this one. This is the closest one to a histogram that you can find on Excel. If you click OK, the histogram just shows up. If you highlight and double click on it, what you will see is you will see a menu that comes up. What you want is you want to select Series 1 and this button, the one that looks like a histogram, and reduce the gap width to something almost 0. You don't want a 0, otherwise it'll blend completely, but if you leave a 3% or 1%, 2%, also you will see a slight slither, because what you want is you want these little dots to be at the class boundaries. So if you have 104, then 105, right in the middle you have 104.5, and that is exactly where the break between the histogram, between the bars on the histogram should occur. You're done with drawing a histogram. My next one is a frequency polygon. Now, frequency polygon takes the midpoints of each class. So if you imagine this is a continuous thing, so there's your line, what you want is you want exactly in the middle and connect those using lines. So in order for me to do a frequency polygon, I'm going to go back and construct the midpoints. Now the midpoints can be constructed using either the class limits or the class boundaries, but it's the upper minus the lower divided by 2. So 104 minus 100 is 4 divided by 2. It's the average, sorry about that. It's the average. 104 plus 100, that's 204, divided by 2, you get 102. Let's do the next one. 109 plus 105 divided by 2 is 107. Let's do one more. Upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2, 112. If you continue with this, the next one is 117, the next one is 122, the next one is 127, and the last one is 132. What you want to do is take the midpoints and the frequency. Conveniently in here, it's right next to each other, so I didn't need to copy paste somewhere else. Highlight the midpoint and frequency. Again, go under Insert, either recommended chart or line charts. One of the recommended charts has to be a line chart. You select the line, push OK, and there it is. Let me move it so that we can see stuff. Maybe move it a little bit to the bottom. Notice it starts at the 102, which is your midpoint. The next bend is at 107, and 112, 117, and so on and so forth. What you can see is there's an overlap between a frequency polygon and a histogram, as in one can lay on top of the other. Now the last one is an ogive. An ogive has to do with cumulative frequency. So what I'm going to do is I am going back over here. This is where I have class limit and cumulative frequency highlighted, or two columns right next to each other. And what we want to do is click under Insert and insert a line graph. So you can either choose a line, or if you go under Recommended Charts, it doesn't have it under Recommended Charts. So let me go back under Line, and you just want a line. Okay, so this is called an ogive. What you can do is you can actually click on the title. If you double click on it, you have the ability to change the names. So I'll call this histogram. I'll go back down. The one that has to do with cumulative frequency is called an ogive. And the one that's on the very bottom that has to do with midpoints and frequencies, and it's a line graph, is frequency polygon.